What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissists Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness, across all social media platforms. This is your first time seeing my face or hearing my lovely voice. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, like myself, and also validate the victims, survivors, and thrivers of said disorder, said toxic people, said toxic traits. Today's episode, y'all, is going to be about narc season. Why a lot of narcissistic people start behaving differently between like September, October, November, December, January. Those months right there, like the end of the year, like towards the end of the year into the beginning of the next year. That's why a lot of people call it narc season. It's like narc season. Narcissistic people start acting up around October, November, December, January, February. Around those times right there. And a lot of people ask me why. So before we hop into today's episode, y'all know you have to make sure you just check out my self-love journal that's available on Amazon. Lee Hammock, I Love Me, a self-love journal to help you rebuild that self-love and authenticity, after a toxic relationship and whatnot. But yes, y'all. Yep. Narc season. What is, like I said, narc season, y'all, is that time near the end of the year towards the beginning of next year, where a lot of narcissistic people start to kind of like the mask comes off. You know what I mean? I know the mask goes on for a lot of people around Halloween, but for narcissistic people, it's like they become unraveled. It's like a lot of us don't know how to act, don't know how to behave. It's like we start acting differently around this time of the year. And a lot of people are like, why is that? Y'all, it's a holiday season. Just like, for me, and this is just my perspective, y'all. Y'all know, could I be wrong? Absolutely, yes. But I don't know. I don't know if I am. You know what I mean? It's just like this time of the year, there's so many emotions going around, right? Like it's like a overload of holidays. It's an overload of emotional energy. It's an overload of giving and receiving. It's an overload of all of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? The rest of the year, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, there's not really any, holidays like that. You know what I mean? Think about it. January, like literally, there's not very many holidays around the time period. Like, I mean, I know there's national holidays, but there's like, I guess, there's not really holidays. There might be birthdays or something like that. But the end of the year, it's kind of like all the holidays are back to back to back to back to back. Because think about it. October, you got Halloween. November, you got Thanksgiving. December, you got Christmas. And then December to January, you got New Year's and New Year's Day. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And in February, you got Valentine's Day. All these holidays are back to back to back to back to back. It's overwhelming for a lot of narcissists. For a lot of people in general. I know for a lot of people, I know it's just not narcissists. And being overwhelmed during this time period doesn't necessarily mean that you're a narcissist, y'all. But the intent matters. It's like if you being overwhelmed and stressed out is different than being overwhelmed, stressed out, and trying to ruin everybody else's time. You see what I'm saying? Trying to center yourself in this time period and whatnot. Because a lot of narcissists will absolutely center themselves during this time. Like I'm telling you, October, here comes Halloween, family gatherings, family getting together, putting on costumes, masks, organizing, where we're going. Is there a booze cart? Whatever the situation is, got to get the kids together. If you're co-parenting with them, it's just stressful in the narcissist's mind. It's like there's no stasis. You know what I mean? There's no point of stasis where we could just be zen or whatnot. It's always something. So right after Halloween comes, when you're supposed to put on a happy face and go trick-or-treating or host parties and things like that, right after that time period comes, here comes November, Thanksgiving. More travel, more family and friends, more food, more giving thanks and being grateful and stuff like that. It's just so much emotional energy going around this time. It's like it overloads my narcissistic emotional senses. You see what I'm saying? I'm overloaded and I'm overwhelmed during this time period. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of narcissistic people will try to ruin your holidays, y'all. Thanksgiving, they might knock all the food off the table. They might sit downstairs or upstairs the whole time. They might not show up at all. They might show up late. They might be giving you the silent treatment. They might scream and yell at you before everybody else arrives. They might be sending you dog whistles and trying to covertly trigger you doing the get together by saying little sneaky sly stuff about you and to you. There's a lot of different things that a narcissistic person can do during this time, y'all. And a lot of them do it. A lot of them do it. Like I said, Thanksgiving, I'll get together. I got to show people I'm loving it and tell them I'm grateful for. It's too much for a lot of narcissistic people. So after Thanksgiving, you might get like a little period where they're cool. But then guess what? Here comes Christmas. Time to give and receive. All this other stuff. So many narcissists ruin Christmas. So many of them. So it is crazy how many narcissistic people ruin Christmas. It is absolutely insane. You see what I'm saying? Yes, could that narcissistic person or that narcissist, could they have had some holiday trauma, or could they have been neglected during their childhood and their youth growing up around the holiday season? Yes, absolutely. Yes, y'all. But is that a reason to continuously ruin it for everybody else? Do you want to continue to perpetuate the cycle of abuse and holiday trauma, or do you want to put an end to it? You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times narcissistic people continue to perpetuate the trauma. They keep the trauma, they keep the ball of trauma or the cycle of trauma rolling. They keep it rolling and whatnot. So it happens consistently. It happens so much, y'all. It absolutely does. It's one of those things that consistently happens to a lot of people. It just does. Like Thanksgiving, Christmas, I'm telling you, they might not get you a gift. They might get you a shoe rack. They might get you a clothes hanger. They might get you some BS. They might get you they might do a lot of damage to you during this time. They might not even show up. They might scream and yell at their kids. If you're trying to co-parent with them, they might not bring the kids back on time. They might not come pick up the kids. They might not call the kids. You said there's so many things that they can do to ruin this holiday season because there's so much emotional energy flowing. And they can't handle it. They overload. So this is my true belief right here. My true belief that a lot of narcissists have limited emotional capacity, right? A lot of narcissists we have emotions. We just don't have a lot of room for everybody else's. You see what I'm saying? Our system can be overloaded very easily, dealing with everybody's problems and being fake happy. And a lot of narcissists will consider holiday season fake and commercialized and stuff like that. No, like you don't know if Christmas. You don't know if somebody really cares about you on Christmas. Don't get them a gift. I didn't get you a gift because I didn't get you a gift because I wanted to see if you really cared about me. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't give you a gift, because that's why Christmas is fake. I ain't doing Christmas. You know what I'm saying? They will ruin your holiday to test you. But they didn't plan on getting you a gift anyway. You could have been super happy about them not getting you a gift, and they'd still made an argument out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all, it's hard to win around the holiday season. And then you follow up Christmas Eve and Christmas. You don't even get a break then, because here comes the new year. New year, new me. New year, new narcissist. Or this new year, the same narcissistic person. You see what I'm saying? It's so much going on. It's such a mental game. It's such a mental flow, and it can lead to a lot of mental destruction. We're dealing with narcissistic people in this circumstance right here, y'all. If you think about it, if you think about a lot of the stuff that goes on in these spaces, it can lead to a lot of damage, a lot of harm being done to your family. They could be passing on the generational holiday trauma to not only you. It gets to the point where you yourself don't want to celebrate the holidays because you know what's going on. You know narc season is coming up, and it can pass down to your children. So imagine your children growing up and having this same or very similar holiday trauma. You see what I'm saying? It can happen to a lot of people, y'all, and it happens to a lot of people. And if I just keep telling people over and over again, this is how it's going to go, y'all. This is how it's going to go. This is the process. This is the dynamic. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to encounter when you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person during this time period, y'all. New year, new holiday season, new year. And like I said, you might get a short break after New Year, y'all. You might get a short interlude after New Year's, right? But guess what's coming up next? If you're in a relationship, Valentine's Day. Now, this Valentine's Day might not be as bad for you if the narcissist is your parent, or it could be. If you have a narcissistic parent, the Valentine's Day might not be as bad for you. Narc season might end in January for you. You might get a reprieve. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being a teacher. You know how teachers work 10 months of the year. I don't know. Teachers get the summer off. Most teachers. Some of them choose to work and do other stuff, but a lot of teachers get the summer off, right? It's kind of like that right there. You get an early break right there, because if you have a single parent or whatever, Valentine's Day might not be as bad for you if the narcissist in your life is your parent. But if the narcissistic person in your life is a significant other, Valentine's Day, makes my stomach hurt thinking about it. You know what I mean? Because they're going to try to ruin your day, y'all. And this is going to continuously happen year in and year out. And I'm telling people, I'm not telling you to leave your relationship, y'all. I'm just saying, stop trying to convince yourself that next year is going to be different. If you've been with this person for 10 years and you had 10 bad narc seasons, why do you think number 11 is going to be different? Why are you doing the same thing, the same actions 11 years in, thinking it's going to be different? What are you telling yourself to make you think it's going to be different? Did the narcissist say it's going to be different, and didn't they continue to do the same thing over and over and over again? Did they say it's going to be different? What are you telling yourself to make you think this is going to be different? You know, because that matters. You know, that matters. So I always just tell people, so Lee, what do we do then? What do we do during narc season? Y'all, if you can celebrate without the person, I would celebrate without the person, me personally, or I wouldn't try to go all out knowing that they're going to ruin it. You know, because sooner or later, if you start having people over for Thanksgiving and that narcissistic person is just causing drama every Thanksgiving, people are going to stop coming to your house anyway because they don't want to deal with it. You know, so the narcissist might successfully drive people away from even wanting to deal with y'all during holiday season because they are a ton to deal with. Oh, and I'm not going trick or treat with Lee and them. Lee be acting crazy. You see what I'm saying? I'm definitely not going to Lee's house on Thanksgiving. It's so uncomfortable. They make it so uncomfortable. Christmas, I'm not going to my dad Lee's house because he just causes so much ruckus on Christmas and always arguing with mom and his brother and everybody else. New Year's, hell, I ain't going around them. Valentine's Day, I'm staying away on Valentine's Day. I don't expect a gift on Valentine's Day. You see what I'm saying? It just continues to go on and on and on. You know? It does not get better over time either, y'all, unless that narcissistic person is somehow, some way, shape, or form putting in a ton of work on themselves. Maybe, but otherwise, this is who you're going to be dealing with, y'all. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise, because that just keeps you in these toxic relationship spaces longer. You know what I mean? But anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all. My kids' book will be released soon, so join my newsletter if you haven't. Join the newsletter. The kids' book, remember, it's not your fault. It's dedicated to the kids in abusive households, the households of lack. Like, kids, you can't control. My newsletter, more information is coming out. The link is in the description to every podcast and video I do. Like and subscribe for more. If you made it this far, Mental Healness is out. Peace. Thanks for making it to the end of my video, y'all. If you haven't already, check out joining the channel memberships for behind the scenes perks, priority responses to the comments, and a few other things. Link in the description of every single video I do. Thank you so much.